Welcome back everybody to another video, probably the last one before I get back from the honeymoon. If you didn't hear, I'm getting married. So thanks for the words, for whoever said congratulations. Thanks for that. We're really excited. It's about a week from now. So this was probably going to be the last video before the wedding. I'll try to record one more. But no promises. There's a lot of wedding stuff that needs to get done before the big day. Today, I want to talk about the Light Phone 2 and using it with Google Voice and my experience and why I think is the best dynamic duo for the Light Phone. I'll also be announcing the giveaway winners at the end for the ratio codes. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We passed 500. I'll be probably doing a giveaway at the end of the month. But for now, I cannot do with giveaways, so I'll just postpone it. And then we'll do a big one for the 1,000 subscribers. So thanks for subscribing. Thanks for supporting the channel. So let me talk about Google Voice and the Light Phone. And it's going to get a little bit confusing towards, how I try to explain it. So I'm going to be using kind of like different props in order to kind of explain what's going on. Thankfully, I have different phones to show them as props. But essentially, I'll explain why I decided to get Google Voice. So if you're a Light Phone user, you know that using the Light Phone can be a little bit frustrating at times, especially when it comes to the texting experience. So that's one of the reasons that prompted me to look for solutions, and Google Voice seemed to be the best solution because I was able to integrate everything under one place. So the first thing was regular texting experience, not being able to get images, not being able to get links or things of that nature. With my job, I get a lot of links, I get a lot of images and things of that nature, or just messages and different threads. And I want to make sure that I'm staying up to date. And with the Light Phone, it's a little bit difficult because, just typing is just difficult. Now, this may not apply to you, but it applied to me. So that's why I decided to switch to Google Voice. The second reason is just general messaging management. When it comes to messaging management, right? The Light Phone only has one screen, which is the screen for phone calls, texts, and that's it, right? It's one screen. You have to deal with it. Whatever the latest person that called you is going to be at the top. There's only a certain limit of spaces. So I was found always searching 1, 2, 3 times because, it's just whatever's at the top, that's what it is. And I'm trying to find phone calls or text messages. And then, I'm trying to see when did I make a phone call? When did I do a text message? And you cannot see it unless you get into that specific number. So that was kind of like a little bit of a bummer for me. So I wanted a better management system, something that I'm more used to it, right? Phone call log and a messaging log separate, not together. So I decided to get Google Voice for that. The third one is kind of not related to the Light Phone. I just wanted to be able to make calls and texts wherever I was, regardless of signal. So, if I didn't have signal, I can still make phone calls via IP, via the internet on Google Voice. That was kind of like an added convenience. And the fourth one is cost. My plan was just a little bit pricey. And it is still a little bit pricey. And, once I'm able to totally merge, I'll be cutting a lot of costs. So from $35 with Verizon to $15 with Mint. So that was kind of like an extra added benefit. I'm able to get a little bit more bang for my buck. So let me explain how it works. So the first step is pretty basic. You have a phone number, whatever carrier you have, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, you're going to port that number to Google Voice. So I decided to port my number from my carrier to Google Voice. And now my phone is in the cloud, right? So I don't have a phone number, with the Light Phone. So you decide to get a secondary phone number. So phone number 1, so my main phone number is in the cloud. It's in Google Voice. Then you need a phone number for your Light Phone in order to get your phone calls and texts from that phone number. So we're just going to use the Nokia KaiOS device as, the Google Voice. So imagine this is Google Voice, right? So this is my regular phone number and this is a dummy phone number. So what Google Voice does is that it forwards whatever it receives. So if it's from your friends, your family, text messages, calls, it will forward from the Google Voice to your Light Phone. Now you can get your texts, you can get your calls, and it's pretty easy. one extra feature that I was not expecting is that you can get call screening on Google Voice, which was kind of like nice. It was actually very nice. You know, when somebody calls your main number, right? And it forwards, it will tell you who's calling because it asks them to record, hey, who's calling, you know? And that was actually very nice because now when I pick up, I hear, hey, this person is calling. Do you want to answer or not? And then I decide whether I want to answer or not. So on the way, kind of like into the phone, right? It's pretty easy. Like the inbound calls, it's pretty easy. You get, let's say this is your friend, you get a phone call to Google Voice, and Google Voice then sends it all the way to the light phone. No problem. Very easy. That's kind of like easy to do, right? Phone calls work very, you know, it's fine. Like, you know, it's the same phone number. So let's say this is a 269 area code. That's my area code. You put the 269 area code to a 269 area code. You receive it right here as a 269 area code. Now, text messaging is when it gets a little bit complicated and when it gets to a little bit of outbound calls. Like let's say you want to call somebody, right? Instead of receiving, you want to call somebody and you want to make sure that they receive it from your Google Voice number, not from the dummy phone number. So whenever you get a text, so let's say your friend 269 sends you a text, 269 Google Voice. So friend to Google Voice will forward to your dummy phone number. But that one will be a different phone number. That will not be registered as your friend. It will be registered as something else. Now, this phone number is very important because this phone number completely tells you how to give the outbound call and how to text your friend. So I'm going to hold them up. Hopefully it's not too confusing. So essentially what happens is your friend texts Google Voice texts you, but at that point, it is not your friend's number. It is a different phone number. Now, this phone number is the one that you need to remap. And you need to kind of create, hey, this is Joey, or this is Sandra, or, you know, whatever your friend name is. Now, if you call your friend, right, from this phone number to their regular phone number, then they'll be kind of wondering, wait, what phone number is this, right? With their regular phone number. So if you dial 269, the 269 number from your friend, then they will be getting whatever dummy phone number is. They will not be getting the Google Voice phone number. I'm sorry if it's a little bit confusing. I'm trying to explain it as easy as I can. Maybe I'll try to do a slide if that works better. So in order to get the best results, this is what you would do. You would get the dummy phone number and you will text or call that remapped number. I'll try to put numbers on top or everywhere so that it's a little bit easier to follow. I'm not trying to make it too complicated, but essentially Google Voice does the job for you. Of course, you can always call from the web, but it's kind of self-explanatory once you get in the groove with it. I'll try to showcase some B-roll or some kind of slide in order to make it a little bit easier because I can see that it can be confusing to some of you. But essentially what happens is that Google Voice is kind of like the middleman, right? You know, between your friend and between your dummy, just, you know, calls and text phone number. So whenever you get that extra kind of like phone number for your friend, make sure to save it on your light phone in order to get the call. So for example, my 269 number, for my friend calls into my 269 number myself into the Google Voice, right? And then I get a dummy one right here for the text. And if I call that dummy phone number from my secondary phone number, right, phone number 2, then my friend will receive it as if it was from my Google Voice. But if I call my friend's number, right, the 269 number, then he will receive it as if it was a completely different number that he doesn't know where it comes from. So that's when it kind of gets a little bit complicated, and I'm hoping that I'm not discouraging you from trying it out. What I would recommend, of course, is that you try it out by yourself, without porting your number first so that you kind of understand what's going on. And I'll try to make a slide so that it's a little bit easier. But the reason why I think this is the best kind of like combination is because it allows you to have the best of both worlds. Number one, it can cheapen your cost. You know, when you find a plan that doesn't need data or something like that, right? It can allow you to use your light phone, but still retain certain functionality like pictures or like videos or things like that, and have it organized on the web. Personally, I think that's a better system than what it's currently on the light phone. But again, this may be your preference. You may just want to keep everything under one place. You can always port your phone number to a different plan or whatever it is. This is kind of like just an explanation. I'll definitely try to make that slide so that it's a little bit more understanding. And if I confused you, please make sure that you type a comment. I'll try to explain it the best way possible. I'm better in text when it comes to this kind of explanations because it's a little bit more complicated. But if you have any doubts, just make sure to leave a comment down below and I'll try to respond it with the best of my knowledge and kind of share my experience. But I think a Google Voice and the light phone is a perfect pair. Management for the text messages is better. It has made my life way easier, and I'm able to reply from my computer or from my tablet, and I don't really have to think about it, honestly, you know, and I don't have to have the frustration of, oh, I wonder what picture that is, or I wonder what video they sent, or I wonder what meme, or I wonder what they're laughing about in the group text message, right? If this doesn't apply to you, of course, you know, it is what it is. But I personally believe that this method is probably one of the best methods for the light phone. And if you have any questions, make sure to drop them below, and hopefully it wasn't too confusing. For the ratio winners, I'll put you all the way over here, and I'll definitely contact you in the previous video. I'll comment there, and please leave some Reddit or Discord or some way to contact you, some email or any way that I can contact you so I can give you the code. So thanks for participating, and those are the winners. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe. Hopefully it wasn't that confusing, and hopefully the slides made it better. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.